Welcome to another episode of Agents Without Borders. Today, we're diving into a topic that changed everything for Elizabeth and Desi's real estate careers, the moment they stopped doing it all alone. Whether you're in real estate or just navigating life, this conversation about collaboration and partnership is one you won't want to miss. Let's get started.
Okay, so we decided to start the new year with a really important topic that has been prevalent in both Elizabeth and my life. And the title of this one is The Moment I Stopped Doing Real Estate Alone. And really not just real estate, life.
Yeah. Real estate and life.
So, okay, you've been doing this for a long time now.
I'm over 20 years. Isn't that
That's
funny
so
to
cool
think
and so
about?
crazy.
I mean, I
Yeah.
started when I was a baby, I was maybe 5 or 6.
Well, and you
Yeah,
hear
no,
those.
it's been a really long time. Yeah.
Do you remember when you first got into it and you'd hear agents be like, I've been doing it for 20 years, and you're like, geez, I feel like we're
Yes.
not old.
Yeah. Like
Like
you're
we're
a
not old, like they were
thousand.
ancient and we still look pretty good. So I don't know what's happening.
Well, and you think like, yeah, I thought that was forever. And I remember when I
Yeah,
got in, I thought, oh, I'll try it for 5 years. I told myself I kind of was like, I'll give it a shot for 5 years. I mean, obviously it's stuck, but it was weird to think about that length of time. Like 20 years is longer than I was in school.
yeah.
You're in 12 years you're in school, which seems like forever. And then, yeah, 20. But I felt like it's kind of interesting. I did notice, I know this is totally off topic, but I did notice when I hit 20, I don't want to say longer now. Like I was
Mm,
like, I'm 20 plus. I think I'll
yeah,
stop adding.
yeah. I think so too.
How about you? How long have you been in real estate now?
It's been a little over 10 years. So right around 15. So I'm
Okay.
up there.
Yeah, you're well. See, I think it's like it feels like it gives you almost like some sort of status. Like people
Uh-huh.
feel like you have some sort of additional status the longer you've been in it. But I really feel like as soon as you hit 20, people are like, old,
You're ancient.
old.
You don't know a
You
thing.
don't
You
know
just
what you're
old
doing.
school. You could put it in the newspaper.
I know. Yeah. I did used to put it in the newspaper. I
Yep.
used to use a beeper. No, I'm just joking. Just a
Uh,
But I remember when I started, there wasn't teams. There wasn't, it really felt like, I know this is another sort of cliche, but like old boys club was a common term. So you felt really disconnected. I was really lucky my dad had been in real estate. So I was able to sort of just talk to him if I had struggles or questions or whatever, but there wasn't really anybody else that I felt like I could talk to. And it was really lonely. I felt lonely. And I don't think I even knew that it was loneliness, right? It was just, I felt alone. And I mean, I know it's the same, but you don't really think of it in the same way. You're doing your thing. You're kind of on your little island. And
Mhm.
the nice thing about real estate now, which I think has been a massive transformation, is people are talking about collaboration. I know there's a big shift, right? So there's a lot of people that I still feel could think a little bit more about collaboration and what it means to them, instead of working out of scarcity, right? But I probably really struggled with it for a good 14 years. For like
Ah,
I thought about quitting real estate constantly, constantly. Like it was just, I felt just so alone, right?
same. And even so, when I first got started, I joined this big box brokerage. And so I would go into the office every day. And I was thinking when I first got started, oh, these older agents are going to like mentor me and teach me how to
Yeah.
do it. And I didn't really understand, like, I didn't know how to prospect, I didn't know how to lead generate. And I would ask them for help, and they would kind of just be like, and just kind of push me off because it was the competition, the scarcity. Well, if
Yeah.
she's selling houses, then I'm not going to be selling the houses. So I'm not sharing my secrets or tips with her. And it was just very like cutthroat almost. And you go to the office and you like chit chat about stuff that doesn't really matter. But
Hmm.
it was, and then when I moved here, I was just kind of on my own. I started my own brokerage and it was just me by
Right
myself.
away. You started your own brokerage
I
right away.
Well, I joined a broker for about a year, but
Okay.
he was like 80 years old. So it was
Yeah.
me and Jack.
He'd
And
been
he
in the industry for 20 years.
Yeah. And so me and Jack, and we weren't. anywhere near the same stage in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And he really did only know how to put it in the newspaper. I remember he was so one time he told me I didn't have to do an addendum. He's like, "Oh, you can just talk about it. You don't need to write it down." And I was like, "Huh? That seems weird. I think we should write it down." And he's like, "No,
It's like
no need.
napkin. Pull out a
It's a paper.
napkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 minutes handshake, spit on it. You're good."
Right.
Okay. But
Yeah.
then, like, what I also noticed is not only was real estate lonely because the agents around here also really did not want to collaborate. It was very like, you stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. And to be honest, I was the same. I started having some success and I was like, well, I don't want these guys to know what I'm doing because I'm taking over this market. And if I share what I'm doing, they're going to do it too.
Okay, I have to admit, I was the same. Like, I
Oh,
think
good.
that's because that was learned. That
Yes.
that was the nature of the business, right? So it's like I'm successful. Like we'd been staging for years before I ever let the cat out of the bag. Like I never told anybody. People would be like, "Oh, how are your listings?" Like, that kind of stuff. Like, and that
Uh-huh.
I think that was because that was what they taught us, right? Like that's what
Yeah.
you learned from the other realtors. You don't tell your secrets because someone might steal your ideas.
Yeah. Well, and then like, so you were staging, you started having a lot of success as well. So I'm sure the other agents were like, she's the enemy, which is kind of how I felt too. Like they were like, you're
Mhm.
cheating the system. You're doing
Yeah.
something like, stay away from us. We don't like you. You're successful. We don't want to be
Yeah.
friends with you. So they would even hang out and have like the I Hate Desi Club and do their own thing.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
like go for coffee and not invite
yeah,
you.
totally. Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of interesting too, because we were talking earlier about how not only was it in real estate because of the way that that industry had been, right? It's also in our personal lives because working in this industry, it's so intense. If you want to be successful, you get out of it what you put into it. So you're answering the phone, you're doing the running around the showings, the open houses, the staging, whatever. So you're not around for, school pickups or birthday parties, or you can't be the mom in the classroom helping out. And so that's also like a totally different form of loneliness that starts to happen because you're excluded from that kind of club as well, right? The mom's club.
Yeah, you have nowhere that you really belong. I remember I had this group of moms that we would hang out with when we first moved here. And then as I got more successful and busier, one day I just realized, oh, I haven't been invited to anything in a long time. And I didn't even notice because I just was so busy working and
Right.
grinding and building something. And then I ran into my friend at Walmart and she was like huge pregnant. And I was like, you're having a baby? She's like, yeah, I'm due next week. And I'm like, sheesh, I haven't talked to her in a whole like 9 months. It takes a long time to make a baby. I had no idea. And
Right.
because slowly they just kind of stopped inviting me because I was never able to make it to the events. So slowly I just kind of fell off and they forgot about me.
And they probably just thought you were too busy,
Yeah.
right? Probably like, oh, she's too busy, or Desi's
Yeah.
got stuff to do, or they also, I mean, I don't know about you, but I always felt like I didn't really have stuff to talk about. And I also, when I would go to, say the birthday party or whatnot, and their perfect cookies and their perfect party, which I never really threw very good ones for my kids, I would feel a lot of mom guilt and almost like mom person shame I would put on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not telling you like, oh, you're a bad mom, but you're just like
No.
internally like,
Yeah. Like, oh, I
I did
should be doing
crap.
those things. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like I should be canning. That was something that I always thought I'd do, like more canning. I don't know why. Martha Stone.
Canning's a big deal.
Canning is a big deal. And even my mom would say things like, "Oh, I always thought you'd be a stay-at-home mom and like an earth mom." And I'm like, I think I'm in there, that earth mom's in there somewhere. But, as your kids grow up, there's so much guilt, and then there's also just like so many feelings wrapped up in like just this career in general, I've found.
Totally. And
Yeah.
I've been, I don't know about you, but I've been to my breaking point, and that's when I started, I'm like, I need someone, and I'm not going to find somebody here. And so I started looking at events and outward because I was like, maybe there's someone else out there that like is like me. Maybe there's a
Yeah.
mom out there doing a bunch of deals and feeling overwhelmed and like nobody understands.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah,
It took us a while to find each other.
it
I guess
did.
for
Yeah.
context, like I'm in Medicine Hat, Alberta, and you're in Burley, Idaho, right? Like how cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the internet of things now. But it
Yeah.
was like I was at my breaking point. Like I was trying to figure out how to build my team. I didn't have any mentors that knew how to do it. I didn't know what I was doing. Like the spaghetti that I was throwing at the wall wasn't sticking. I tried different coaching because I felt like that was my first kind of line of defense. I thought, well, if I get a coach, that's almost like a therapist, like a like a, but that wasn't how it was. It was like they wanted me to be very scripted and do the things that they, how their team leader or their coach leader was successful. So it was like you do X, Y, and Z and you can build a mega team. And that wasn't what I was looking for because I was like, that my city isn't like that. Like I can't build it. I don't want to do that. I'm lonely, like yeah, I could build a big team, but I'm alone in this. And then that's when I started doing the events too. I just like I think I saw it on Instagram. I was just
Hey,
surfing Instagram and I saw it was Rev B, the first Rev B, and then I noticed that there was spring break was like the next weekend and I thought, you know what? If I'm going to the States, I'm just going to double stack.
might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a double stack. And even there, it was lonely because I didn't know anybody yet.
Yeah. Same. I was like, I brought my husband with me to the event, but
Mhm.
like, even though he was there, it's like he does not understand what's going on with me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so, and like, it's intimidating going to an event when you don't know anybody. And so
yeah.
I'm super impressed. You're just like, I'm going to go to two. Might as well just rip the Band-Aid off.
Just go for it. Well, I was really at my breaking point. Like when I said earlier in the show here that I thought about quitting a lot, and I really did. I wouldn't. I think I've told you before, like I would lay awake at night just not wanting to go to sleep because I didn't want the next day to come. And I feel a lot of that came from not having someone to talk to or like people to connect with about it because you don't feel comfortable talking to your staff or your team because you don't want them to see the cracks and there's a spot where I mean you can be vulnerable with them to a point, but I mean some stuff is just like, you just need somebody to spitball ideas or talk about something that's stressful, somebody. And I just didn't have that. And so, yeah, I was like, it's this or nothing kind of thing. And it worked. So,
Yeah, it's so crazy because I feel like when we met each other, it was just like magnetic. I was like, I like this girl.
yeah,
And then we
yeah.
just hit it off. And I never, like 5 years ago, if you would have asked me, like, oh, are you going to have a best friend in Canada that you can call and like all
Yeah.
ideas off of? I would have been like, what? Canada?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know where that is.
Yeah. What do they do up
Or-
there? Drink maple
Yeah,
syrup while they eat poutine? Yeah.
yeah, with the mooses.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and don't you feel just even that, like starting out with this, just, going to these events, right? Not only did we meet each other at these events, but we also met like a whole community. So it's
yeah.
not just us, right? We're not this little like bestie island. It's like from there, we got such like a cool community of people that we could call at any time, collaborate with, just a big group chat, like that. I think that was the turning point for me. I know it was the turning point for me and how I feel about this industry and where the possibilities can go because I don't feel alone anymore. Like loneliness is it's something people are so afraid to admit to. Like I feel
Mhm.
lonely. Like it's
Or they're just like, I'm fine.
yeah, I'm
Everything's
fine. Yeah,
fine.
everything's fine. I can stare at my phone and
Yeah.
surf or doom scroll or whatever, but it's just admitting it out loud is like I feel lonely or I've been lonely. It's like something like when I was growing up, you would never say something like that.
No. Yeah.
It's just
That's a hard
showing
thing to say.
weakness.
Yeah,
Like it's a
totally.
weakness and it's so unfortunate because I think there's so many lonely people out there.
I think
I,
so too.
I wonder what would you suggest people should do if there's this is resonating with them and they're like, you know what, actually, I actually think I am lonely. What would you suggest like a couple of steps would be for
I
them
would
to take?
suggest find your people. So find a community. Maybe it's not going to be local, most likely. It's going to be outside. And that's one of my favorite things about all the people that we've met and the community that we've kind of surrounded ourselves with is I know I can call, like, I called Jim and he sent me his whole script and role play book. And I called another agent. She sent me her whole like listing presentation that I could tweak and make my own. And like I've had people reach out to me for things and it's just like, yeah, I want to help you grow. And I feel like not only have I felt better internally, but I feel like my business has grown a lot faster than if I was trying to figure it out my own. Because, like, could
Yeah.
I make a script and role play book? Sure. But if Jim already made it, why not just plug and play and adjust it a little bit to make it my own? You
And
know?
because he's not in your community, he doesn't feel threatened by you at all either, right? Like, so it's like but
Yeah,
honestly, I think Jim would share it with anybody.
I
And I
think
think
so.
that's the thing. Like, I feel like people just are afraid to ask,
I
you
think so
know,
too.
because
Yeah.
once people started, I mean, for me, once people started asking, like, oh, what are you doing? Or who's your photographer? Or where do you get this? I'm totally happy to share, you know?
And you know what I found is the people who are like your biggest competition
Mhm.
most likely won't even do what you're doing. Because a lot of people think we just got here by luck.
Like, yeah.
We were born into it and so like
Yeah.
magic, yeah. But they don't
Yeah.
realize the work in the late nights and the early mornings. And, most people aren't willing to even put in the work.
Hmm.
But you find someone that is, like, there's so much business to go around for everyone. And when you open up your heart and you're living in that flow state versus the scarcity,
Hmm.
like, I just feel like more opportunities just present themselves to you. It's crazy how the universe works.
Oh, 100%, right? And it's just like collaboration over competition. Sure.
Sure, yes.
Is, it's so important and I find myself having to check myself every
Ah,
once in a while. Like
same.
sometimes I have to check myself. Like
Yep,
I'll
just
go back to
last.
that sort of old way. I'll slide in and I'll be like working from a place of scarcity. And I find that it's like a downward spiral, right?
Yeah,
It's so negative. I
it
can't even
is.
stand being in that space, but I will catch myself once in a while. And
Same. Just last week, my stager staged for somebody else, and I was like, "What the heck? Why is her furniture in their house?" And I like got kind of frustrated. I'm like, who gave them her number?" And then I'm like,
yeah.
"Wait a second, it's fine. Like this is going to help me be able to sell their listing because my buyer it actually looks presentable now."
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I
Right.
mean,
I know. It's just easy to catch yourself in that way. Yeah, and I feel, it's just asking, right? Inviting people to
yeah,
things. And I mean, people might say no over and over again, but then they might say yes, or they might realize that you're actually like a really fun person. And, on the odd occasion that you do bake cookies, you might share, like I
yeah,
think it's just a matter of connecting with people that, you just that you like. Like, I think
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's just like when we met, I was just, I just felt like I really liked you. I mean, you
yeah,
took a picture of me by the cactus, and I was like, anybody who doesn't like roll their eyes at me while I'm doing something like this is definitely going to
yeah.
be a potential friend. And then, I mean, at that inner circle event, there was like a few people. It was really intimate, right? And I felt
Yeah.
like we all did get pretty vulnerable with each other.
Yeah.
So I do think it's like there's when you're vulnerable with people, it does open doors, right? It doesn't show weakness. I think people really want to surround you and lift you up, right? So
It builds that connection.
it really does. But that was the game changer for me. I can
Yeah.
honestly say when people ask me if I like what I do, I can say yes with like
Yeah.
wholehearted honesty. Like I love what I do. And
Fun.
that feels so good,
Yes.
and I do have some mom guilt still. How about you?
It's
Yeah.
hard to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But, I think eventually we just have to realize we're doing the best with what we have. And I think our kids will realize that. And,
Hmm.
ultimately we're giving them a pretty good childhood. So I think you're an awesome mom. And I think your kids are really lucky to have such a good example.
Aw, thanks, girl. Back at ya.
Hey,
But I do, and I've always thought like, well, they're seeing me work, right? And seeing me provide and If I have challenges, work through them. So that's just a different kind of parenting, right?
Yeah, totally is.
I think because in your market, moms don't tend to work as much, right?
Now, I would say I'm like at the church I go to, there's maybe one or two moms who work. So it's
Okay.
very
That's,
rare to have a working mom.
yeah. So then you're working through that as well, because a lot of people probably think like, oh, Desi's doing her thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can see how that is. But have
And
you found since, hmm?
I've even had people come up to me and say things like, "Oh, well, your husband has a good job. Like, why would you work? That's kind of selfish to take time away from your kids."
Okay.
Or like saying that, because I love money. I love making money
Yeah.
because the more money you have, the more good you can do with your money, the more people you can help. And
Mm-hmm.
like nothing makes me happier than being able like to help people. So we were able to help so many families at Thanksgiving this year. And just like I had a single mom who was having a hard time. She was living in her car and I was able to give her a deposit for her apartment. And it's like if I didn't make money, I wouldn't be in a position to be able to do that for people.
Right. I love
But
that.
I think there's also, there's mom guilt, there's money guilt, and I don't know,
There's
there's just
so much guilt. And
oh,
it's like it can just like chip away at your being, right? So it's so nice to
kind of
have
makes me
people.
question too, like, am I being selfish? Like, would my kids be better off if I was home all day with them? But you know what I found is I think moms who are home all day, not all of them, right?
Mhm.
But the ones who are guilty me, I'm like, well, you're at home, yes, all day with your kids, but are you actually present with them? And we could do a whole nother show on,
Being present.
quantity of time versus quality
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the difference. But I mean, they're there just scrolling on their phone the whole time and their kids are just doing whatever. So it's not real interaction, you
Mm.
know?
I know. Yeah. And then it's just, you know, what's the differences? It's just
Yeah.
it's a perception, right? Like it's like what we perceive we should have been doing or people around us. But then at the end of the day, would we have been happy doing that? I don't think so. Like as far as
So
personality
we're
wise,
builders.
I don't know
Yeah.
that I would ever be able to stop working, right? I
Yeah.
think it's just a matter of the question is being lonely in what you do versus not lonely and how you find people or your tribe, finding your
Yeah.
tribe I think it's a really important aspect to just the joy that we can find in what like in life, right? Like keeping pushing us forward. Like I could work for 16 hours a day as long as I can like, have somebody to spitball ideas with after or just say like, "Oh, hey, what would you do in this circumstance?" Or we'll send each other voice notes where it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, this just happened. I feel so bad." Or like, "What should I do?" It's just so nice to have that and not having had that before and having it now, I know it just has made such a difference in quality of life for me. So,
Totally does. Yeah,
yeah.
looking at the past year and
Mhm.
all the cool stuff we were able to do and the crazy things we were able to pull off, I honestly could say I would not have been able to do it without having like a partner in crime in that community.
Right? I know. Well, thank you. Thank you, friend.
Yeah, thank you. So find your community, guys.
Find your
Find
community. Go to a
your
live
community.
event.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.